Hi, everyone. My name is Smriti P and I'm a mentor with Magic and also a board apprentice. And I'm really excited to be interviewing Adina, one of our mentees from this session. First of all, congratulations. I just attended the final presentation and your project was really interesting and you did a phenomenal job presenting. I'll ask you to introduce yourself and then also your mentors who weren't able to make it for the interview today.
Hi, I'm Adina B. I'm a senior here at SKA High School. My project was based off engineering, was more closely related to the topic. My mentor is Mrs. Melissa Myers. She is a UC Davis graduate school graduate in biomedical engineering, and Mrs. Aviva Oppenheim, the School of Engineering for Cooper Union. She has a degree in engineering and works for the Port Authority in New York. They were both amazing mentors and learned a lot from them.
Thank you. So I'll also ask you to summarize your project for us.
So my project, there's two parts: a deconstructed model of a light rail system and a planned system model here in New York, in a small town, for an effective flow of traffic and benefits for the community, a light rail system.
What was your inspiration for this?
My inspiration was I had recently gotten my license and noticed massive amounts of traffic here, and there needed to be an effective way to flow traffic and for people who didn't have their license to get around before.
Very true. So I live in the city. I can't even imagine driving out here, and I'm sure it's congested around the city too. So cool that you were able to combine so many aspects of, I don't know, a lot of different disciplines from STEM for this project. Did you have anything that you particularly enjoyed, from the urban planning to the mechanical work you did with Arduino, to the research that you had to do and outreach to kind of the community?
Yes. So as I feel like engineering really is one of my main passions because of how diverse you can get into the field. And I feel like because I'm going off to college very soon, I needed to like settle down on a place that I really loved. And I really loved the urban planning aspect and listening to people tell me things and like how to logically things would make sense, but listening to what people tell you, you actually end up changing aspects of the project because it just isn't the most logical in a sense, but
Right.
it was so fun getting into things I've done throughout high school, like Arduino coding. I've done all 4 years here. I guess I've done research projects here, and so it was fun to like get like a kind of like a flashback to each thing and like ready to send myself off.
Right, like a good culmination of everything, and definitely an iterative process, as you kind of alluded to, with the different needs and things that will pull you one way or another as you go through research. So you showed some really cool stuff in the presentation, like the maps that you created for a plan of the light rail system, and I was wondering, what was the surveying like? How did you actually get a map like that? And secondary question is, are you trying to maybe show this to the city and present like a proposal for something like this?
There definitely needs to be a change here, and maybe I will show it to the city. That's not a bad idea, but don't want to hear from me from the amount of calls I had to make for the street sizing. They were more than enough to let me go. The researching and getting surveying from people was kind of hard because I was in school full time. My school wasn't finished at that point, so getting a diverse range was harder to do, besides for high school girls. So a lot were done with girls from my school, which was good because a lot of them didn't have their license, so they would probably be main users of the system. When I was home and like people would come by my house, I would ask them randomly, but for the most part, I got around like 25 answers, but they all stayed within the same range.
Very cool. And I feel like the same kind of process you took here could probably scale to other cities. And I don't know if I don't know much about urban planning. I learned a lot from you today, so that was really cool. But do you think that you would maybe kind of work in this area in the future, or like one of the aspects of the project would carry on with you?
100%. I would love to work for the LIRR. It's my like biggest dream. I always take the train to the city with my friends, I have a bunch of friends who live in New York City and they come in through the train. And whenever I take the train and I see the people in their yellow jackets, I'm like, I'm going to be you one day. Like, mark my
That,
words.
that is awesome. And you're definitely manifesting it by researching and getting really involved in this space already. A few questions about magic. What attracted you to the program?
It was, I think my senior year, everyone was kind of done in all my classes and, you know, like senior slump. And I needed something that like was going to drive me, but because I felt like I was lacking something like missing that used to do in all 4 years, that like I
Mm-hmm.
would have a project due at the end of the year. So it was really fun to like have this project striving me till now. And it's kind of sad to like let it go and like really be done.
Yeah, that is good to have that project and some structure to carry you through and continue your passions. And what was it like working with Melissa and Aviva?
I loved it. I had the privilege of meeting Aviva actually 2 years ago at an event here in SKA where they had people talk about their careers, and I like fell in love with what she said. And so when I originally signed up for Magic, I may or may not have slipped in a few words about Aviva, so I would be mentored with her. And it was amazing meeting her and working with her. And then I got the privilege to meet someone across the country, also in engineering, and it was so inspiring. She had just had a baby at that point, and my sister had also. So we were like, and I was babysitting the first time I met her. And she was, and so it was just like we like instantly connected. And I was like, well, this is my baby, really, but it's my sister's.
Wow. Well,
Yeah.
I'm so happy to hear you had such a fruitful experience. Do you have any advice for any future mentees?
That's a good one. Definitely write everything down and like write your goal down in the beginning and what you want to accomplish so you could always look back at that and remember why you're doing it.
That is good. Keep the big picture in mind. Awesome. Well, thank you so much and congratulations again. I'm excited to see what you'll do in the future.
Thank you. I'm so glad we got to meet.